Missing someone. Missing someone. Missing someone. Love with all your heart. Missing someone.
You should always be scared of clowns. Back in 2016, a young kid named Jake went to his local fair to have some fun. He was having a good time, playing games and enjoying the rides, but that quickly changed when he saw a disturbing looking clown waving at him. Jake was creeped out, but he just ignored the clown and walked the other way. He continued to have fun, and about an hour later, he decided to walk back home. As he was walking back home, he heard his name get called out from behind him. He turned around to see who it was, and to his surprise, it was the same clown from the fair. The clown was calling his name and telling him to come here. Jake's heart was pounding. He immediately said no and started walking faster in the opposite direction. He turned around to see if the clown was gone, but to his horror, it was sprinting towards him. And you won't believe what happens next. Jake turned around and saw that the clown was sprinting towards him. He screamed out in horror and ran as fast as he possibly could. The clown was yelling terrifying things like, "I'm gonna get you, and you're gonna die." Jake was running for about a mile until he finally got to his neighborhood. He turned around one last time and saw that the clown was gone. Jake ran inside of his house and called the police. He told them everything that happened. As he was waiting for the police, he noticed something outside of his front window. He looked outside, and to his horror, he saw the clown standing there and waving at him. Jake started screaming in terror, so he ran upstairs to go hide. The police arrived about a minute later, and Jake told the officers everything that just happened. The police started a town-wide search, but found nobody. And to this day, the clown is still somewhere out there.
Be careful buying things at garage sales. I bought an antique mirror at a garage sale and it turned my entire world upside down. It all started because my hometown has this annual garage sale event. People would come from all over to sift through treasures and junk, honestly, to see if they could find something that they really liked and wanted to take home. I was standing in front of Miss Patterson's garage when this old mirror caught my eye. It was vintage and tarnished with age, but it had this captivating allure to it. You guys know I love antiquing, and I could tell that this mirror had history. I couldn't resist. I bought it, hoping it would add some kind of antique charm to my room. And I mean, it did do something. I wouldn't call it charm. An air of mystery, maybe. After I hung that thing on the wall, it changed the presence of the entire room. It wasn't until later that night that I noticed something was very, very wrong. I was in my room just admiring my new purchase when I noticed something strange about my reflection. It was smiling, but I wasn't. I took a step back, and that's when I noticed it wasn't mimicking me at all. Because when I stepped back in fear, it didn't budge. I took out my phone to get a video to prove I wasn't crazy. But when I pulled out my phone, it started mimicking me again. I told myself it was a trick of the light, or just my overactive imagination. But that was only the beginning. This mirror is out to get me. Why did it look like there was someone behind me in that last shot? Anyways, I'm gonna tell you about it while I take this off. I tried to just ignore my last encounter with the mirror when my reflection didn't reflect me, but I was still feeling uneasy about it. It seemed like the more that I ignored it, the worse it got. Every time I'd walk by, my reflection would be doing something different and not what I was doing at all. Sometimes I would notice that it had a different hairstyle than what I was wearing. And sometimes it would mimic me and just be slightly off. I decided it was probably best if I just got rid of it altogether. But I spent over $100 on it, so I didn't want to just throw it away. Oh my gosh, I put this on so wrong. There's like something on it. Anyways, I hauled that mirror up to the attic. I threw a sheet over it to make sure I would not see my reflection in it again. And then I went to bed. But the next morning when I woke up, the mirror was back, just hanging on the wall. And that's when I realized I was dealing with something far more sinister than I could ever imagine. Did you keep a haunted mirror in your home? Because I did. And here's what happened, part 3. When I realized my mirror was hung back on the wall, I freaked out. I ran out of the house, I called my boyfriend, and he thought I was crazy. I decided I had to get rid of this mirror or break it or something. And then my mom suggested I confront my reflection. I waited until midnight and then I went to the mirror. I walked in front of my reflection and I said, "What do you want?" And to my shock and horror, it responded. What it said chilled me to the bone. I'll never forget the night that my own reflection told me, "Let me out."